Most cat owners figure that as long as their cat is eating, sleeping, and has a few things to play with around the house, everything is fine. And honestly, that thinking makes sense. You're meeting their basic needs, keeping them healthy, giving them a comfortable life. So surely they feel the connection, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Cats don't process love the way we do. A filled bowl is just fuel. A warm bed is just warmth. Those things keep a cat alive. They don't necessarily make a cat feel close to you. What actually reaches a cat emotionally is something far more specific. A set of small, repeated behaviors that line up with how their instincts, their social wiring, and their sense of safety actually work. And here's the part that stings a little. A huge number of cat owners are living with a cat that tolerates their presence rather than genuinely bonding with them, and they don't even know it. Not because they're neglectful, but because no one ever explained what closeness looks like from the cat's side of things. These 7 habits are what shift that dynamic. A couple of them might catch you off guard. A few you might already be doing, just without knowing how much weight they actually carry. Let's start with the slow blink, because it might be the single most underused tool any cat owner has. You've probably noticed your cat watching you from across the room, steady, still, just looking. Most people glance away or go back to whatever they were doing. That is a missed moment. When a cat holds your gaze and then slowly, deliberately closes and opens their eyes, that is not tiredness, and it is not zoning out. In cat body language, that slow blink carries the weight of the words, "I feel completely safe with you." Closing your eyes in front of another creature is about as vulnerable as it gets, and your cat is choosing to do that in your direction. Research out of the University of Sussex confirmed this back in 2020, showing that cats were significantly more likely to move toward a person who slow blinked at them than towards someone who held a flat, neutral expression. It is a real signal. One cats both read and send. So the next time your cat is settled and looking your way, hold their gaze gently, then slowly lower your lids and let your eyes open again. Then just wait. There is a real chance they will give it right back. And when they do, you will know exactly what is being said. Now alongside that, start talking to your cat. Genuinely, every single day. Not because they understand every word, but because they absolutely register your tone, your rhythm, the warmth or tension in your voice. Researchers call it cat-directed speech, a softer, slightly higher register aimed specifically at them, and a study from 2022 found that cats responded with noticeably more attention and engagement when their owners spoke to them this way, compared to just talking normally nearby. Your cat knows when you are talking to them versus just making noise in the same room. So narrate small things. Say their name when you walk in. Give them a real greeting when you come through the door, not a glance, an actual hello. Over weeks, your voice becomes something they associate with safety. That matters more than most people give it credit for. Here is one that well-meaning owners consistently get wrong, and it quietly does damage over time. When your cat retreats, goes quiet, moves to another room, or simply turns away, the natural impulse for a lot of people is to follow, to check in, to bring them back into the moment. It comes from genuine care, but from the cat's perspective, that kind of pursuit feels like pressure, and pressure steadily wears down trust. Cats are not emotionally available on a schedule. Their need to pull back and be alone is not a sign of a broken bond. It is just how they are built. In the wild, cats are solitary. Solitude is not loneliness for them, it is recovery. When your cat withdraws, that is what they are doing. What actually deepens trust is being present without making any demands. Sit in the same room, do your own thing. Do not stare at them or call them over or try to manufacture a moment of connection. Just exist near them quietly. Over time, that calm, non-intrusive presence becomes something your cat actively gravitates toward. You shift from being a source of unpredictability to being a source of steadiness. And that is genuinely powerful for an animal whose entire sense of security is built around reading its environment. When they come to you on their own terms, and they will, that contact means something entirely different than anything you could have nudged or coaxed out of them. Now, when your cat does come to you and bumps their head against your hand or your face, do not let that moment slip by half-noticed. That head bump is not accidental. Cats carry scent glands along their forehead and cheeks, and when they press those areas against you, they are marking you as part of their world. In bonded cat groups, this is how they reinforce social ties with each other. And when your cat does it to you, you are being pulled into that same circle. Your response matters just as much as the gesture. If you pull away too fast, stay distracted, or offer only a reflexive pat without really being there, cats notice. Do it enough times and they stop initiating altogether. They do not push, they just quietly stop reaching out. So when your cat comes to you this way, lean in, let them lead, use 2 fingers along their cheeks and the base of their ears, and stay in it for those few seconds. You are not just petting them, you are answering them. Real play is not a toy left on the floor, and it is not a laser pointer flicked around for 30 seconds while you check your phone. Genuine play, the kind that actually meets your cat's emotional and instinctual needs, requires your full attention and your active presence. Every cat, no matter how relaxed or pampered, carries a hardwired drive to stalk, pursue, and catch. When that drive goes unmet, it does not just fade quietly, it turns into frustration, which shows up as aggression, destructive behavior, or a kind of flat disconnection that owners often chalk up to the cat just having a difficult personality. 10 to 15 minutes of focused daily play changes this significantly. Move a wand toy the way something alive would actually move. Let it dart, freeze, hide, then suddenly bolt. Let your cat stalk it, let them win. Ending a session with a successful catch completes the whole predatory sequence and leaves your cat feeling settled rather than wound up. A small treat right after mimics the final step of the hunt and brings everything to a natural, satisfying close. When you play with your cat this way consistently, you become connected to some of the most instinctually rewarding parts of their day. That connection is durable. Then, build a greeting ritual and keep it. Routine is not dull for a cat, it is safety. Predictability tells them that the environment is stable, that the people around them are reliable, and that reliable is one of the most comforting things a person in their life can be. Every time you come home, every morning, every time you walk into a room they are already in, acknowledge them the same way. Same phrase, same tone, same gentle scratch in the same spot. Cats track these patterns carefully, and over time your ritual becomes a signal that everything is fine and that you are glad to be there. You will know it is landing when your cat starts moving toward you before you have even finished walking through the door. That is anticipation. That is your cat actually looking forward to you. And finally, let your cat watch you rest. It sounds almost too simple, but it matters. Cats learn who you are largely through observation. When your cat settles nearby while you are reading or lying down and simply takes you in, do not disrupt it. Do not reach for them, just let them look. What they are doing is building a picture of your stillness, your breathing, your energy when you are completely at ease. Cats that are deeply bonded to their owners tend to stay close during rest, not just for warmth, but because that quiet version of you is one of the most familiar, safest things in their world. Your scent, your rhythm, your calm, these become anchors for them. You become, in a very real sense, a place they feel at home. And that is what all 7 of these habits point toward. Not grand gestures, not expensive things, just small, consistent moments repeated until your cat knows, without any doubt, that you are someone worth trusting. If this gave you a new way of seeing your cat, go ahead and hit like. It genuinely helps this reach more people who could use it. Subscribe so you catch what comes next. And if your cat happens to be somewhere nearby right now, try that slow blink, see what comes back.